If you face a major issue at work, the folks at Stewart Law Offices are here to help. Brent and Elizabeth are here to tell us about what you can do and what you're entitled to if you are hurt on the job, or how you can help a loved one that has experienced that. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So, I think the question that a lot of people have when it comes to if you are hurt on the job, are you going to be able to get paid if you are not working?
Well, you're able to get paid, but you have to be out for a certain length of days before you get paid. If you're not out for that amount of days, then you won't get repaid, and you can use your PTO or whatever to reimburse you. Then after those days have gone by, you'll get paid back to day one, and they pay you 2/3 of your average weekly wage. So they take your wages, over the last 4 quarters normally, and then divide it into the number of weeks, and that sets up your average weekly wage. They divide by 2/3, and that's what you get.
When it comes to the medical treatment provider, who picks that?
Right, so in North and South Carolina, when you get hurt at work, the workers' comp insurance carrier has the right to direct your care. So they pay for your medical treatment, but that also means that they get to pick which doctors you go to. Now, sometimes at the end, when you get released from workers' comp doctors, we may need a second opinion. And so things get a little bit different there. But typically, it's the workers' comp carrier that's going to be directing your treatment and deciding where to send you to figure out what's going on.
Something that I've heard is the nurse case manager. Some people have talked about that. What does that actually mean?
Well, the nurse case manager is a tricky part of the case because they're always really nice, and they try to get to go in with the patient into the treatment room, and they're friendly and they talk to the person up front. My advice is do not talk to your nurse case manager. While they're supposed to be neutral, they are paid for by the insurance carrier, and more than not, we'll see things come into the records or the nurse case manager reports things our clients say interpreted in a way that makes them look like they're not as injured. So they can be beneficial because they help set up treatment and they make sure the client gets there. But you as an injured party have to be really careful about how you talk to them, because while they're supposed to be neutral, I see a trend that they're possibly not as neutral as they should be.
Another question that a lot of people have asked, do I need a lawyer if my job is cooperating? Do you really need one if the person that you're working for is really, being good to work with?
Well, I think you need a lawyer, and my reason is, while the employer is being cooperative, it looks like everything's going in the direction to get you what you need to do. In the end, you may be entitled to a settlement. And the law is set up so they get to pick your doctors, they get to pick your treatment, they have the nurse there dictating treatment, and in the end, it's not the employer, but the insurance company that pays. And insurance is a business, and they want to pay as little as possible. So in the end, you could be hurt if you don't have somebody there on your side protecting you.
Can people get pain and suffering under comp? What does that mean?
No, so workers' comp is totally different than a regular personal injury case. If you go get in a car wreck, I can negotiate a settlement based on your medical expenses and the pain and suffering that you went to. In comp, in North Carolina and South Carolina, you are not allowed to ask for pain and suffering. What we're looking at is what level of permanent damage do you have as a result of the work injury, lost wages for time out of work, and then are you going to need any future medical treatment going forward at the time that we settle it. But you're specifically not allowed to ask for pain and suffering, so that's something that a lot of people don't know and get frustrated with, so we try to make them aware of that up front. You're limited in what you can ask for under workers' comp. It's important to know what that is so that you can make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to.
Really good things to keep in mind if you are going through an experience like this. Thank you guys so much for sharing all this information with us today. If people want to contact you at Stewart Law Offices, where should they head to?
They can give us a call at 866-STEWART, and they can also Google us or ask Siri or Alexa or any of the other places. I'm way too old to understand how they work. They reach us at 866-STEWART.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for sharing all this info with us. We're going to have more information next month with Stewart Law Offices on some different ways that you can make sure that you are protected and insured and ready for any situation. Thank you guys.
Thank you.